Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge, text 13. Mahatmanastu mam partha
Mahatmaha tu mam parthe
devim prakritim ashritaha
dev
दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः
bhajanti ananya manaso
bhajan
भजन्त्यनन्या मनसो
gyatva bhutadim avyayam.
ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्.
This is a very well quoted a lot of times, this verse. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O son of Pratha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, Pratha, son of Pratha. Krishna is called Parth. Parth, why? Because Kunti Maharani's one of her name is Pratha. So out of affection, he's calling him, O son of Pratha. Now what he's saying, the great souls. Who are the great souls? Those who are not deluded. Means no more in illusion, already liberated. Under the protection of the divine nature. Means under the protection of the internal energy of Krishna, not in the material energy. And what are they doing? What are the activities? Not that they're sleeping, not that they're thinking, okay, I'm liberated, now I become God. What are they doing? They're fully engaged in devotional service. Why? Why are they fully engaged in devotional service? Because they know me. Who's this me? Krishna, because it's Krishna who's talking to Arjuna. So Krishna is saying they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So the pure devotees, what are they doing? They're always engaged in devotional service. They are under the protection of the spiritual energy of the Lord. They understand Krishna's position as the original person, original Supreme Personality, Govindam Adi Purusham. Adi Purusham, the original person. In this verse, the description of the Mahatma is clearly given. So we may say, who is a Mahatma? The first sign of the Mahatma is that he's already situated in the divine nature. He's not under the control of material nature. Means he's a liberated soul. He's beyond the modes of material nature. This is Mahatma. And how is this affected? That is explained in the 7th chapter. So how can one become a Mahatma? Means one, not that we just simply change our name, that we go to a notary and say, okay, now from today my name is Mahatma. No. It means really situated on the liberated platform. And how to reach that platform? In the 7th chapter, Krishna says, one who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, at once becomes freed from the control of material nature. That is the qualification. So Krishna demands surrender. Krishna says, you surrender to me and I will bring you out of the material nature. So we may say, but what to do? I'm not able to surrender. I don't know how to surrender. What I have to do? Krishna said, Sarva Dharmam Parityagya. Krishna said, surrender unto me 5,000 years ago. But in Kali Yuga, he saw people don't know how to surrender. People are lost. So he came as Lord Chaitanya. And he showed us by his personal example that how to surrender by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. When we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, then we are inviting, we are appealing to Krishna. And then we can become freed from the control of material nature. Means liberation. Free from material nature means liberation. That is the qualification. One can become free from the control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We simply have to say, my dear Krishna, I surrender at your lotus feet. But that we will not do. It is very difficult for us. We will surrender unto this one or that one, or boss, or our servant, or our job, or our family, but it gets difficult for us to surrender to Krishna. But doesn't matter. We continue to hear and chant. We just continue to hear and chant, taking the shelter of Lord Chaitanya, and we will get perfection. We will go back home. So that is a preliminary form. And what does surrender mean? Means also following Krishna's instruction. If I say yes, yes, I surrender to Krishna, but I don't follow his instruction. I just do whatever I want to do. Then how is that surrender? Then that's not surrender. Krishna is saying, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, always think of me, offer me leaf, fruit, flower, or water. These are Krishna's instructions. That is surrender to Krishna if we follow this. Krishna says, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give away, do it for me. We simply have to follow. That is surrender. So that is a preliminary formula. Being marginal potency, as soon as the living entity is freed from the control of material nature, is put under the guidance of the spiritual nature. So marginal potency, we are the Tatashta Shakti of Krishna. Tatashta, we are on the Tata, on the shore. You see, when we see the ocean shore, sometimes it's in water, sometimes it's the water is far away. That's how we are. Sometimes we are under the control of material nature, sometimes under control of spiritual nature. So the guidance of the spiritual nature is called Devi Prakriti, divine nature. So when one is promoted in that way, by surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one attains to the stage of great soul Mahatma. Mahatma is a pure devotee of Krishna. That's a liberated platform. And he is above the modes of nature. He's not under the control of goodness, passion, and ignorance. The Mahatma does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna. Why? Why doesn't he divert his attention to anything outside Krishna? Why? Because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. Lord Brahma says in Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govind, Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the original Supreme Person. So when one is able to understand that, then the only thing he does is engage in Krishna's service. What happens in material life, when we are conditioned, we want to do something, always trying to see how I can enjoy the body, how I can enjoy the senses. But on the liberated platform, it's always how I can please Krishna. So there is no doubt about it. Such a Mahatma, a great soul, develops through association with other Mahatmas, pure devotees. So if we at all want to become a Mahatma, what we have to do? We have to associate with other Mahatmas, with the pure devotees. Birds of a feather flock together. So we may say, okay, now I'm associating with a pure devotee, so I've become a pure devotee. We may or may not reach that stage, but for sure, gradually, we will get purified by their association. Association is like a crystal. It takes on the color of who we associate with. You see, if we associate with people who really like to drink alcohol, then we will be also tempted to drink alcohol. If we associate with someone who likes to play soccer, then we will also become a soccer enthusiast. That's how association works. Similarly, if we associate with devotees, then gradually, we will also become pure devotees. Pure devotees are not even attracted by Krishna's other features, such as the four-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Krishna. So Lord Vishnu is also Krishna. There is none different. Vishnu is also Krishna. He is an expansion of Krishna. There is no difference. But what happens is the devotee, he has so much attraction for Sham Sundar, because the ras is there, the relationship is there. He can have a personal loving relationship. So that's why they are not attracted to other features of Krishna, nor are they concerned with any form of a demigod or of a human being. So the attachment is so already so much for Krishna that they just want to worship Krishna in his Sham Sundar form, not even in his Narayan form. They, of course, don't want to worship any demigod or any human being. They meditate only upon Krishna in Krishna consciousness. They are always engaged in the unsevering service of the Lord in Krishna consciousness. So the pure devotee is completely Krishna conscious. He's completely in his pure consciousness. He's completely understood his position. When the window is clean, we can completely see outside how clear it is. We can see what it is. And then because we can see what it is, then we act accordingly. When the sun is not there and it's totally dark. Of course, now we stay in the city, so we have the street lights and there's light everywhere. But just imagine for a moment, there are no other city lights, no street lights, no nothing, and the sun is not there, so it's completely dark. And because it's dark, we may stumble, we may fall, we may imagine there is some ghost or some animal or something, when there may not be anything. But when the sun comes out, then we are clear of what to do. We're clear how to walk properly, reach the goal well. We are not confused, not deluded. This is how Krishna consciousness is. When our consciousness is completely pure, completely, completely pure, then we can understand Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'm eternal servant of Krishna. We happily engage in our loving relationship with Krishna. So we continue to hear and chant and hear and chant and hear and chant so that we can revive this love of Krishna that we have in our heart. It is there in each and everyone's heart. It's not artificially imposed. It's already there. We simply have to revive it. Are there any questions or comments?
Not really.
Okay, thank you so much for listening and enjoying it. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.